Hey, what's going on, college kid? Oh man, I'm hanging in there, man. I'm hanging in there. Another day in the trenches. Hope you doing good, bro. Considering, as always, considering. You get an apartment yet? Nah, I ain't got no apartment, man. No, siree. I won't be getting an apartment or a job until this shit ends. I'll be damned if they haul me away for killing one of these motherfuckers, man. You guys are the strong ones, man. I swear. You guys are the strong ones, man. When you can live around that shit and you can fucking, you know, cope. I mean, not cope, but you can fucking. Deal with them doing all that weird shit, man. They do a lot of weird shit out here as well, I guess, but I don't know. It's just the idea of motherfuckers coming and invading your property and stealing shit out your house and shit. Just breaking in it, period. That's the type of shit that, like, this shit makes you want to retaliate. Them following you and harassing you with the one headlights and, the triggers and the psychological bullshit. It makes you want to do something to them, but I think for me, at like a job or, having an apartment, house, whatever, it's just it's a whole different level for me. Like, that's the type of shit, like, I don't know. Shit. I get pissed off enough just with the vandalism they do. Just with the vandalism they be doing on my vehicle and shit. I can imagine what you guys go through. Uh, oh, okay, okay. Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of people say they've broken into their fucking apartments. They've taken shit. They broken in, taken shit, and then put it back into place maybe like a month or two later in the same spot they took it from. I hear a lot of stories like that. I guess it depends on your location as well, though, because, some places the targeting isn't as, heavy. I know San Jose, this is Silicon Valley, the Bay Area, period, is like probably, I don't want to say the heaviest, Because I seen New York, they be targeting like a motherfucker as well. But shit, that's good shit. If no break-ins ever happen, shit, that's good shit. I was recording somebody, somebody peace and quiet over here. Shit, that's good shit. What part of where are you at? Where are you located? You in California or? I think San Jose is the problem. As long as you stay there, you're staying inside of the problem. Mm, San Jose is a big problem, but it's not. Nah, it's not. It's I've been a little bit of different places. It's not only out here. Like this shit follows me. This shit has followed me to Sacramento, to Reno, Stockton. Yeah, this shit ain't. Neighborhood watch. Neighborhood watch is the problem. I think the city, wherever this neighborhood watch is big, whatever city's neighborhood watch is big, that's where it's at. Like that's where it's gonna be. Like you know, um, you know, those are like home bases and shit. Because, without neighborhood watch, this program flourishes through neighborhood watch and shit because they're so spread out. Like the police don't have to do anything because they already got another. It's almost like another neighborhood watch is like a low budget section of the police and shit. So and then a lot of them live in those communities as well. So it's easier to set up shop, if you will. I gotta go. I'm gonna go relax and meditate. Have a good take care. Hey, likewise, college kid. Oh man, no offense taken, man. I don't want to live in this fucking shithole city. Shithole city. Shit, excuse me, that's legitimate. Yeah, San Jose is for evil people, man. It's a beautiful city, but it's been engraved with evil people, man. Evil people set claim to this territory. Very evil. San Jose is an evil city, man. Fucking hanging people. They got fucking. Like, it's so crazy. They got the tree, the very same tree. Like, it's a historical tree. that they used to hang people on. Like, they don't even cut that shit down. Like, they... And you know, it's not the tree's fault. I mean, it's just the fact that they, you know, it's almost like they worship that fucking tree and shit. Like, they turned it into a historical landmark, I think. It's, you know, it's all types of fucking shit in the park that, you know, it's just evil. Underground cellars and shit where they used to fucking do all the, like I guess the inmates wrong and shit. They used to, like, I guess the inmates that they used to, I don't know, whatever they did with them, bad shit. They used to keep them on the underground cellars and shit. Like San Jose. San Jose is big on like there's literally a fucking city within underneath this fucking place. Like there's a city underneath this city. And I don't want to say city. I don't want to say city, but it's, you know, it's a, there's a especially downtown area, there's a location underground to where, like, you know, all these buildings and shit, like these you know, all these fucking buildings, these skyscrapers, I think they're called, the tall buildings and shit, like, you can get to the bottom of even some of the churches and all, just some of the buildings and shit, you can get, you know, you can get access to underground and shit. The underground city or whatever you want to call it. They probably be throwing sacrifices and shit down there, all types of weird shit. It's just an evil city, man. Like, I just had a perp, you know, the crazy thing is, and it's like, you know, these people aren't getting the fucking picture, bro. I just had a fucking perp follow me with one headlight, and I filmed him. So I'm filming him, and he turns back around as I park and comes to the side of me, and he says, "What do you want to do? What you want to do? What you want to do?" Like, he wants to fucking fight me and shit. And it's like, man, I'm like on the fucking edge right now, bro. You know, I do have self-protection. Like, I ain't got no gun or nothing like that, but I got enough to protect myself right now. And the way I'm feeling right now, for you to be coming at me aggressive like that, with a fucking kid in the car, man, then I just fucking left, man. I just, I said that to him, and I just fucking left, man. Fucking a little kid, like probably like 6 or 7 years old, man. I'm filming him with the one headlight. I didn't even notice the kid. I didn't notice the kid till he turns around and follows me. And when I park, he pulls up on the side of me, and it's a little girl sitting in the passenger seat. And he's saying, "What do you want to do? What do you want to do?" All aggressive and shit. And it's like, man, like, you guys are not getting the fucking, don't you see a 14-year-old just died? Like, a 14-year-old just died, man. And you guys are sitting here putting fucking kids on the front line, man. You know, if I was even, you know, a petty motherfucker, you know, and I don't want to say petty because it's like when you're targeted, man, you know, they push you, they drive you. It's to the point to where, you know, in some cases, man, you might want to see them hurt. Like, you might not want to kill them. You might want to see them hurt and see them go through what you've been going through, just on a different level and shit, and take it out on the fucking kid. And it's like, I would never do that, but you don't know who the fuck you're targeting. You don't know who you're dealing with, man. You're not fucking using your head, man. You just don't fucking do that shit, man. It's one thing if you're gonna harass somebody, but for the police to even let you roll up on people with kids and shit, like, that tells you right there that they don't give a fuck, man. They don't give a fuck about cleaning up these streets. They're not trying to clean up these streets. They're just trying to cause more fucking mayhem, more bullshit, so the people fucking think that we need them and shit. Well, and I'm not gonna say think that we need them, because, you know, to some extent police are needed, but, you know, a lot of this shit has to do with defunding and all the shit. Like, the way I can see that, the way they put shit all in the mix and shit, and then when I fucking protested and shit, they try and, like, when they're doing traffic and shit, and I protested, and I'm asking the police why they're fucking doing what they're doing and shit. They say shit like, we're cleaning up the streets. The streets are a lot cleaner. Well, you shouldn't be selling drugs. Like, motherfucker, motherfucker, what are you talking about? I shouldn't be selling drugs, man. You guys been doing this shit to me for how long? And just shit like that. They try and make up excuses and shit. You know, just to get the fucking public on a tighter grip. Make them want to fucking, you know, they hurl out little soft threats at you and shit. We're not gonna be able to respond to fucking burglaries and all this fucking bullshit. Yet you're fucking teaching criminals you're teaching burglars and fucking criminals, just basic criminals. You're teaching basic criminals how to be better criminals with your fucking policing bullshit. Look at all these fucking death threats and shit. You see this shit? But yeah, you're teaching criminals how to be better fucking criminals, man. Which in reality, they're not even better criminals. You know, whenever you fucking, you know, you're just a stupid motherfucker, or you just don't give a fuck about the fucking kid that's with you, or you don't give a fuck about your kids or your nephews or your nieces and shit. That looked to be like his granddaughter and shit. She was real young, and this dude's like 50, 60 years old. You know? Nah. Yeah, he's in his 50s, mid-50s, easy. And doing all that shit, man. Come on, bro. And then he wants to look at me like I'm the stupid one when I said, what are you talking about? What I want to do? I'm just filming my harassment. You're doing the same thing to me they did to Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. And he's just sitting there looking at me stupid and shit. I'll drop her off. Man, come on, man. I'm not fucking preschool ass shit. Meet me at the park at 3 o'clock. Fucking weird shit, man. I swear I hate these people, man. Exactly. Yeah, they set up the little soft setups and shit. I know when I was doing the white headlights and shit, cause at first before I started filming them and shit, I was you know, before I was filming them and shit, you know, I would just hop out and fucking you know, without the camera, and just fucking asking why the fuck they're fucking harassing me and shit. Why the fuck you know, and you know, once they did it, you know, once I started having the film, like, if you would have seen the difference from when I had the camera to when I didn't have the camera, it was way different. Like, they would literally fucking smile. They would smile, and then they would have well, I don't want to say dialogue, but they would try and dialogue with you and shit, like, say little smart shit like, what, so I can't have a headlight out, and placate you and all that shit. But as soon as I started bringing the camera out, they said, oh, it's one headlight. No, I got both headlights on. Oh, I wasn't aware of it. They're really fucking. You see how the fucking temperature changes, and so it got to be too many. And when I was calling, because they would follow me with the one. What they would do is they would follow me with one headlights and tell their little fucking tweakers on the bikes like what stores and shit I went to, and they would let air out my tires or fucking do some vandalism on my vehicle, like scratch it or some shit. So when the one headlights were following me, I would call the police, and I'd be like, man, do you guys have me under some type of investigation because I'm being followed by a lot of one headlight vehicles? And they would placate me like all throughout the fucking phone. It'd just be fucking, do you know these people? Nah. Are you on medication? I'm like, nah, I'm literally being followed right now. And you don't know him? And you're saying he only has it. Like, how is that? How do you, what do they say? How do you feel your life is in danger? And it'd be like, I never told you that my fucking life was in danger. What are you talking about? I just said I'm being harassed by people following me around with one headlight. And, they do all types of fucking word games and shit. And the word games that they play with you, man, is frustrating as fuck. Like, I mean, when you know what they're doing, it's not so frustrating because you don't fall into their fucking verbal fucking gumbo bullshit. But when they when you don't know, or when you just don't stop and think and pay attention or whatever, when you're not aware of what they're doing, man, that shit is fucking irritating. It's like it runs you through it's like a misery. It's not a mental pain, but it's like a mental misery, man. They'll leave you literally fucking exhausted. Like, you'll be fucking trying to explain so much to them, and they'll be just fucking swatting your fucking explanation all different ways and shit. And they're doing it strategically and shit. When they're doing shit like that strategically, man, it's just a fucking energy sucker for real. Let me see. All this talking is just to discredit us. They can do worse things and have people not believe. People not believe. I got pictures from this week of a giant microwave burns all over my right lobe. Yeah, man. And see, if there's some way you could get, man, if there's some way you could get some type of radiation testing, if that shit leaves radiation in you, man, I think, the shit that we go through, there's simple ways to handle what we're going through, but it's like, it's hidden knowledge. Like, it's not, it's not, like, we could probably do some damage to these people as far as exposing them or going about certain shit legally, like taking them to court. Maybe not mentioning gang stalking or predictive policing, like not mention the program they got us in, but just the little shit they do. Because the shit they do, man, there are literally people out there that fucking, they they live for this type of shit. Like, they go out and fucking sue people, and they try and find anything that the general public can do wrong to them and shit. Like, they welcome that shit, and it's almost like they conjure that shit. And that, like, I swear, like, if we were any of those people to where we set out to fucking, you know, come up to, like, make a living off of fucking suing people and shit, these people, man, would be fucking, you know, what do they call it? Cash cows and shit. Like, all the vehicular bullshit, like them stopping real abruptly. Like, I could, when I be having my fucking, you know, my camera going or whatever, I could just fucking run into that motherfucker and be like, man, like, I like, you know, the camera clearly shows that it's his fault. You feel me? The camera clearly, a lot of these people that they be sending in the middle of the street and shit, like, I don't have to fucking hit my brakes to the point to where my fucking van fucking jumps and shit fucking goes all over the place. I could just fucking run over one of these motherfuckers and it would be his fucking fault. It would be his fucking fault. Like, there's no way you could blame that shit on me. You guys are fucking sending these people out there. A lot of them are mentally ill and they don't, you know, they don't give a fuck. And then a lot of them wear all black and shit. You got them walking around at this type of hours, and you know, this is street lights, so it's pretty lit up right here. But you know, a lot of places out here ain't lit up like that. And you sending people in all black to walk in the middle of the street like that, that's literally the fucking excuse right there. You know, the motherfucker's in all black. I can't see him. I mean, I got the camera rolling. I got the camera rolling. The camera can't see him. And the camera has a better eye than a human, so if the camera can barely see him, how the fuck do you think I'm gonna see him? Like, there's just no way of getting around some of the shit they do. The one headlights, man, like, you know, you could sue these motherfuckers for causing fucking mental issues just with the one headlights, man, because that's psychological warfare. And then when you're asking people, like, why are you following me? And they're fucking saying they're not following you, and they're smiling, and then they're fucking cutting lights back on and shit. Like, you know, that puts a person through a head trip, and they can't get around that shit. You know, as much as they want to say they're cleaning up the streets, you ain't gonna get around that shit. Like, if I had the money, I swear, if I had the money and the fucking knowledge, man, I'd take these motherfuckers to court. And I fucking represent myself. There would be no way I would let anybody else represent me in this fucking case. I mean, if I had it like that, if I knew, if I had the knowledge of fucking courtroom lingo and all that shit. Let's see. Keep your foot on their neck, bro. Yeah, definitely, man. That's, you know, pretty soon, I think, I might, you know, I'm thinking about just traveling and doing fucking, you know, sticking the camera in all the perps' faces, like any perp that, you know, is harassing me, stopping by my vehicle, fucking aiming this camera at me, or just any of that perp shit, just sticking the camera in their face and doing shit like, you know, like how they did, like the real interviewers and shit, like buying a real fucking camera, buying like one of those real fucking vlog or not news cameras, but like a real, like a good vlogging camera, and just fucking, I gotta get 1,000 subscribers first though. I gotta get 1,000 because I'm gonna have to put commercials on the channel, but you know, like just traveling and fucking just sticking the camera in all of their fucking faces and shit. Doing that shit. What's that TV show, Cheaters and shit? When they just fucking hop out on them and they behind their faces and all that shit. Like, that's what, like, I'm gonna make a TV show out these motherfuckers, man. Just gotta map it out. I gotta map that shit out. people will start to see though. Like, you know, I know, you know, and I know I shouldn't keep saying it because bringing it into existence and shit. But you know, whatever they do, man, whatever they fucking do, like, I know I'm gonna try and have a lot of fucking. I want to have a. I want to have a lot of shit out there before they do whatever it is they do to me, man. Like, if I could fucking just wake 5 people up before they do what they do, that, you know, that's enough for me. Like, just as long as they fucking, you know, can survive this shit or fucking, you know, I don't know, protest this shit, whatever. But you know, people are gonna wake up, man. As long as I'm here, I'm gonna try and wake fucking people up, man. I'm not just gonna fucking let these people just get away with sweeping shit under the rug and, you know, we're dying, they're dying, they're, you know, and then not only then, they're, you know, they're getting kids killed now and shit. Like, you know, when that 3 strikes law came out, I remember being in prison, like, and seeing people coming in fucking for the smallest of fucking crimes, getting life, fucking stealing, like, maybe stealing a pair of shoes for their kids to go to school and shit, or, you know, just stealing whatever, just, you know, regular fucking minor theft, petty theft. I think that's what, yeah, petty theft is. You know, people were getting life for petty theft. Yet, these motherfuckers is going around changing the dynamics of people's mentalities. You know, they're pushing people off the edge into suicide, murder, mental, you know, because, you know, no matter how we look at it, and, you know, we might feel like, or we might know, like, we're not no fucking mentally ill cases and shit, but the fucking resin of this program leaves you fucking, you know, it puts mental complications on you, if you will. Not complications, but, you know, there's a lot of psychological fucking bullshit that this fucking program throws on you. They can summon up triggers from years and years and years ago and shit. Like, they can wake shit up in your subconscious and shit. Like, they know how to wake shit up in your subconscious that, you know, we couldn't even begin to think of how they do it. But they do it. Like, saying all that to say, like, the shit that they're getting away with, you know, and it's not like they're just getting away with it, but they're getting away with it, like, worry-free. Like, it's like it doesn't mean anything to them. Like, when I be protesting about the 14-year-old and the VTA guy killing up all those people, it's these people, it's like, you know, it's like they're agents. Like, this is the, you know, some people say, oh, maybe they're good people, they just think they're doing, you know, and I understand that part, but, you know, for them to continue to do it with smiles on their faces and shit, knowing that a fucking kid just died, or knowing that 8 people just died, like, these aren't fucking, you know, these last 2 events aren't fucking small events, man. Like, a 14-year-old, that's big. It's fucking big. Like, it might not seem big, but you gotta think, this is a, you know, It's worse than child molestation. It's I'm gonna say it's worse than child molestation, but it's right there with child molestation. When you're fucking putting the kid on the front line because of you're too cowardly to fucking um go up to the person so you see your kid, or maybe you're just being negligent and fucking just taking your kid along with you, or someone else's fucking kid with you. Like, it's big when you get fucking kids killed and you just fucking, you go on like it's another day. You live like you just fucking, that man went and killed 8 people, killed himself. And those same police that made that happen, they woke up the next morning, drunk a cup of coffee, ate some fucking, what is it, eggs and bacon, got on the telephone, shot the shit with their brothers, their comrades, and their fellow officers, if you will. And it's just another day, swept under the rug. And that's all I be thinking about. Like, look at all these death threats. You guys, I know you guys paying attention. It's like the 5th death threat, silent death threat, if you will. The police was doing it to me all day yesterday. But yeah, man, these people need to be exposed. Let me see, y'all. People, keep your, okay, take care, and, yeah, man, it was pretty bad the other day, to the point to where I felt like I was gonna have to put him to sleep, bro. I ain't giving him little drops of iodine though, tiny little drops. They say I shouldn't do it, but they've been getting better. You call me a perp to my face, see what happens to you. I don't think I ever called you a perp, bro. I mean, I'm not. Oh, okay, hold on. Like Crip Mac saying all that. They love that. Hey, what's going on? God deserves glory. Yeah, they do. They love the one headlights. That's for sure. What's going on, United Legend? Nappy, what they are doing to you, they're doing to me now. Yeah, man. We just gotta stay strong, bro. You gotta stay strong. Stay strong, man. Harder. I mean, easier to say. Definitely. Easier to say, man. So your van is working out. Yeah, it's man. It's on its last leg. That's why I've been recycling and stacking my recycling because they be stealing recycle, or they be short changing me and shit. So I just been stacking and stacking and stacking that shit, and then eventually I'm gonna sell this. Probably, I mean it still got a little bit of life in it, but they've done too much to it, man. I don't even. I like. I try to keep things nice, if you will. Like, I'm already in the situation. Well, I'm in the situation I'm in already. So, the shit that I do have, I try to keep it up to par, pretty nice. And when I first started getting my vehicles, they saw that, like, every time, like, I get done recycling and shit, like, I take it to the car wash. Like, whenever I got done recycling, I take that shit to the car wash and get that, thoroughly do the inside and the, outside. And they saw that shit, like, bro, like, it came to the point to where, like, it happened in fucking, I don't want to say waves, not waves, but, like, it just, the progression of them trying to fucking make me quit, like, it's almost like they want you to fucking, I guess that saying, how you look is how you feel, or some shit like that. It's a saying, I think it goes, if you feel good, if you look good, you feel good, or some shit like that. I think, they that their whole fucking mission is to, like, they wanted me to, I don't know, like, feel like feel like shit, I guess, because what they would do, they scratch, like, and I took notice of this immediately, like, they scratch my vehicle, bam, and I notice a scratch, I'd be like, damn, man, like, are you fucking serious, man? Like, you guys seen, like, when I first started filming the scratches and shit, like, you could tell they just took fucking keys to it and fucking made long fucking scratches and threw rocks and shit and made big ass dents. And it's like, every time they did something like that, I don't want to say I beat it, but I would do shit like I buy stickers and shit, and I fucking, like, there's a boulder sized hole or dent in the side of my van. From when I was driving, and they threw a rock on the freeway. They threw a rock from the overpass, and it fucking dented my fucking, the side, the panel of my van. So I put a sticker over it. But before they did that, before I put the sticker over it, they would drive by me with the same exact fucking van. Like, my van was immaculate when I first bought it. And as they started tearing down on it, they would fucking drive by in the same fucking van, brand new. How this one looked before they started doing their little fucking handiwork. And when they started doing that, like, that was enough right there. Like, if I was gonna kill somebody, if I was gonna do anything to any of these fucking piece of shit motherfuckers, like, those are the times. Like, those are times like that. And then you just fucking, it becomes, I've went through phases in these just the vans alone. Like, I've been in phases, man. To answer your question, I'm sorry, let me answer your question. Yeah, it's running cool. I'm gonna end up selling it, but yeah, I'm gonna get something else. I got a little bit of money saved up, so I'm gonna just end up getting rid of this. I don't know, probably, I don't know for how much yet. Um, but yeah, it's just phases and shit that they've done. Like, they tear down shit so much, man. And then they can't wonder why they're dying. Like, they have to know. Like, sometimes sometimes I'll verbally reach out to some of these people, and I'll fucking, I might, if I see them perping me or something, like, I might beat them to the punch, give them some type of fucking smart aleck remark, not aggressive or, anything to try and show like I'm mad or anything, but like, I might give them a compliment on a bad haircut or some shit like that, and they literally have the fucking nerve to get mad, and you're just lightweight talking shit, like you're just like literally like you might just be talking a little shit out of anger or just to vent some shit out, like talking shit about them or whatever. They'll have the audacity to get mad, yet these are the very same fucking people that chase you around all fucking day, psychologically warfare you, trigger you. These fucking dickheads, or excuse my language, you guys, but these fucking weirdos have the audacity to get mad at somebody who's fucking literally just trying to defend their sanity. And that, just like when the police pulled me over the other day, and the lady tried to tell me, stay off your megaphone. Like, what? Like, lady, I know, you guys are putting me through fucking psychological warfare, fucking harassment and shit. And this is the only way I can reach out. And it's legal. Look at the one tail light trigger. And it's legal. And it's legal. Who the fuck are you to tell me to stay off my megaphone? Or my bullhorn shit. That's what she said, bullhorn. Stay off your bullhorn. No, lady. I'm gonna stay on my bullhorn until you guys stop fucking harassing me. It's legal. It's my right. And then she was just like, what did she say? Goodbye. Goodbye. Excuse me, it's legitimate. But yeah, I told her I'm gonna stay on my bullhorn because it's legal. And she couldn't say nothing. She just, goodbye. Goodbye. Just like the motherfuckers trying to trick you out of your rights and shit so they could fucking step all over your fucking constitution. It don't matter what it is, fucking a pullover, domestic terrorism. They just don't give a fuck. They want to take all your rights. And a lot of them need to fucking, that boot camp or whatever, that training camp and shit, like, that's not enough. Like, you guys gotta fucking, if you're gonna be hiring fucking kids, especially, to fucking, there goes that motherfucker right there. If you're gonna be hiring kids, especially to fucking, be police officers or what have you, then, that it's not, that's not something you play around with. Like, you put the motherfuckers through, like, they're supposed to know the law, like, literally, like, they're not supposed to, I mean, what does it look like having a police officer pull you over, making all these demands that are going against your fucking rights, and then you gotta wait for the supervisor to fucking come. No telling how long that's gonna be. 30, 40 minutes, you gotta wait for that motherfucker to come just to tell the fucking officer that the fucking person is right. That the fucking citizen is right. Like, I don't know how many times, like especially those auditors and shit, man. Man, those fucking auditors will fucking show you just how fucking uneducated about the job a lot of these police are. A lot of them are very uneducated, and in some cases, the supervisor is uneducated to where they gotta call the head honcho out and shit, and it's like, damn, man. All these fucking police, like, in charge of everybody's fucking lives and shit, and half of them don't even know the law that they're fucking working for. Like, they're, and you know, I see the chain reaction because they hire the perps just like they hire the police. And as long as you're willing to fucking, as long as you don't have to have a fucking brain, you just gotta be willing to be a yes man, willing to put your life on the line, willing to take somebody else's life. Education, that'll come in later with your experience. And education to come in with your experience. Don't worry about it now. You just keep pulling people over. Eventually you'll find somebody. You can't detect radiation exposure unless you get a radioactive powder or contaminated substance. Oh. So, well, I thought like, so that shit don't pump out radiation? You know what's crazy? I've tried downloading those apps. I guess it's not really crazy. I just don't know how to read them. I don't know how to read those apps and shit, man. I gotta learn how to read those, cause I be getting frequency, apps and shit to test the frequencies and shit, but that shit is complicated. That's like Chinese checkers to me, for me, cause it's all types of settings and shit, and all types of abbreviations, and yeah, that shit's kind of on a scientific level almost for me. Uh, there's two different radiation poisoning. One, ingesting or inhaling it. Two, ray exposure, where powerful gamma rays are emitted from the source, but it's just rays tearing your body up. Okay. Alright. So, that's that's why the people were talking. That's probably why they would. I was probably sounding crazy. I was like, I need to get my dogs tested for radiation poisoning. And they were asking, like, what do you think it was from? It's crazy because I had to fucking. I called two veterinarians. Excuse me, it's legitimate. Look at one of their soldiers. I tried, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. They asked me how it happened and shit. And you know, like, you know what they were exposed to and shit. And you know, I guess the better half of my thoughts said I should probably not tell them. I should probably not tell them the truth, but excuse me, it's legitimate. I should probably not tell them the truth, but I mean, there's no way you could fucking, like, I can't create no fucking lie about that shit. Like, there's nothing, I don't, there's no way I could fucking create a lie about that shit. I'm not in the know about, I guess I could say I've been taking them around a bunch of cell towers and shit, but, I mean, shit, man. And so I just ended up telling them, I ended up telling them the truth and shit. I told them, like, the police have been giving military weapons and testing military weapons out on the citizens. And, I happen to be on the streets and shit, and my dogs live with me in my van, and they fall victim to it. And, one lady hung up on me, and then at least one was nice enough to fucking refer me to, she said, I can refer you. Like, she was beating around the bush and shit. I think I just hung up on her, because she was asking me, she was asking me how it happened, and once I told her the story and shit, she told me she could refer me to a different place, and I was like, nah, I just, I'll stick with this because it's 24 hours, like, it's 24-hour, it's a 24-hour, emergency pet hospital and shit. So I was just like, I'll stick with this one and shit. That way, if they are cool, then I could just, I could go in there whatever, whenever, or however the shit works. And she immediately, she was like, oh well, I will have to refer you anyways because we're booked up until, I was just like, why you just didn't say that at first? And, I hung up on it. Like, it's crazy, man. This shit, man. It's like we're literally fucking, to a certain extent, blackballed. Literally fucking blackballed. Redlined. Not fully. We're not completely blackballed, just to give the general public, the illusion that we're the crazy ones. And we happen to be the crazy one, ladies and gentlemen. Radioactive powder and gases, they are probably contained in your area. Oh yeah. Yeah, and you know what? I have noticed that, bro. I have noticed that, like, it's almost like a powdery type of dust that, if I lift something up, it'll be like a powdery dust that just floats up and shit. Like, I'll back my head up, but, I pretty much chalk it up to this, like, fucking drywall and shit, because, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck. But yeah, I have noticed that shit. I remember when I first started recycling, this one dude brought fucking metal. I believe it was nanotech on the metal. He asked me to help him take it out of his car and shit. He had gloves on, and I didn't have gloves on. It was just metal. It wasn't like the shit was in, had hella garbage or any type of shit on it. It was just fucking metal and shit. So I fucking I grabbed it and shit. And after that, my hands had fucking red dots on them, bro. That fucking burned bad. It's like they fucking it was like a chemical or some shit. I don't know if it was nanotechnology on those fucking those pipes and shit. It was like pipes and shit, like metal pipes and shit like that, like from construction sites and shit. And I don't know what they put on it or sprayed on it, man, but that shit had like little red bumps and shit all on my fucking hands for a long time, and it was to the point to where it hurt. It felt like, I don't know if you ever had your hand burned and had a blister and shit, like when you close your hands and shit. How it feels all weird when you close your hands. It felt like that, man. It hurt to fucking close my hand. Hey, what's going on, Virgo? Hope all is well. That's crazy. They're doing that to me too. They put it up right against the wall and turn it on. It's a ghetto rig microwave. I can hear it. Yeah, hey, and you know what, man? There's probably like so many things out here that we could fucking use to direct at them. That's what I want to do it. I want to do a YouTube search on that shit, but I don't want them fucking coming back trying to say I'm creating bombs or some fucking weird shit like that. They're really wicked people. Yeah, they are wicked, man. The very day that I realized these people had no souls, the day that I realized that they just don't care about shit and anything goes, is when they started fucking putting kids on the front line. Especially in Sacramento, man, they would dress the fucking girls. These are little fucking girls, man, in tight leotards, and it's like, why, they would dress their daughters and shit probably the way you wouldn't even want your wife to fucking dress, or a woman to go out. Like, you wouldn't want your wife to go out the house like that. So, that this is how they dress their fucking kids, and they try and set them in front of you. And the shit is crazy because, for the most part, nobody's even thinking about the fucking kids, right? But the clothes and shit that the kids are fucking wearing, you're looking at the kids like, damn. And they know you're gonna do that. And so as you're fucking like, you're in your head, you're like, what the fuck? Like, are you fucking serious? They're fucking snapping pictures and shit, and catching all types of fucking, catching you in all different types of facial expressions and shit in the middle of fucking, and it's just like a setup, man, because they can take that picture and narrate the whole fucking story, bro. They can narrate the whole fucking story off the picture. That's why they take a lot of pictures and shit. And they used to send a lot of, because I smoke a lot. So when I was in Sacramento, I go to like the parks and shit and let the dogs run around and shit. Because like they have these, in Sacramento, there's a lot of, they're not really, they're parks, but they're like attached to libraries and community centers and shit like that. So they're kind of all, like, not too many people frequent them, but they are frequented. And so like, I go to the parks where it wasn't too many people, and I'd be around with like the parking area to where I could see my vehicle and shit. And it's crazy how they would send little boys, like little it's not funny, but it's funny, but it's sick. The mentality of these people, how they put their children on the front line. They would fucking put these fucking like 12-year-old fucking 14-year-old fucking b-boy looking like, what do they call them, boy band type of dudes and shit. They look like feminine, like real feminine men, like, but they were kids, but like they would look like they were gonna be, you could, the way it seems like the way they were being raised, like they were gonna, they have the real fucking, they have little fucking like bangs and shit coming down and shit, and their hair be cut, and then they have fucking girl hairstyles and shit. But I guess it's like, cool for like the b-boys to do that shit or some shit. I don't know. But they'd send them fucking at me and ask me if I want to smoke weed with them and can I buy blunts for them and shit. And these dudes, it's like, one incident, it's like four of them. It's like four fucking b-boy looking little fucking 14-year-olds and shit. And they're fucking coming, and I'm telling them, nah, I can't buy you no blunts. You guys are crazy. You're trying to get me locked up, and then I'm trying to like back away from them and shit. And it's like, I don't want to fucking, I don't want to, I don't want to fucking make the kids feel bad and shit. But I'm like, man, I can't be around you guys. Like, you guys gotta go. Like, you guys gotta get away from me. And they're just fucking swarming around me, fucking asking me questions and shit about my dogs and fucking about weed and do I think they're working with the police and all this fucking weird shit, man. It's like, come on, man, just fucking leave me alone. Tell your parents to quit using you guys to fucking harass me, man, please. Like, these parents don't give a fuck about their kids, man. They don't. Like, they'll be quick to tell him, oh, you gotta be home at this and this time before it gets dark. Yet they'll fucking send you straight at a motherfucking ticking time bomb who's been psychologically harassed for years. They'll send you right in front of that motherfucker. Like, these people have no souls. It's either they have no intelligence or no souls, or it's just both. I don't know, man. I don't think if you have no soul, then yeah, it's bad, man. Anybody who puts their children on the front line, in my eyes, that's worse than a child, or I'm not gonna say worse, but that's right up there with a child molester, man. Putting the fucking kid in harm's way like that. I mean, there's a chance that there's probably even if there's a 99.9% chance that target isn't gonna do anything, that's still that whatever piece of that 1% is, that not quite 1% or whatever, that millimeter of a percent, like, you still, and that's where the lottery ticket comes in, because eventually you're gonna get your lottery ticket, punched. You're gonna get your ticket punched. And those 8 people that work at the VTA, when they woke up that morning, had their cup of coffee, got on the phone, probably, made a little fucking skit for the VTA guy that day. We'll do this to him today. You get him out to his car, and I'll fucking go in his desk. Yeah, see, whatever fucking skit they planned that day, and then it goes, there we go with another death threat. Whatever that fucking skit was planned that day, it didn't go as planned. I'll tell you that much. 8 people got their fucking lottery ticket punched that day. 8 lucky winners. And the ones that got away, the ones that were harassing him and got away, Oh man, I bet you they don't do that shit no more. The ones that actually did participate and got away with it, doing it to him, I bet you reality hit them quick. I bet you reality hit them real quick. It's gonna be a matter of time. It's gonna happen again. It's gonna happen again. That's why I'm like, anything that happens in San Jose or around San Jose big, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for it to happen anywhere because I'm gonna implement it, but I'm waiting for San Jose, something to happen in San Jose. Because I cannot wait to rub it in these people's faces. At first I wasn't, I wasn't trying to do all that, but the way they've been hitting me, man. Killing my fucking dogs. So for those people who are on here that aren't targeted and shit, you know, don't, I'm not the only targeted individual channel. There's a lot of targeted individuals, and you'll see like the shit that they say that we have mental illnesses and we're crazy. If we have any mental illnesses, it's the shit that they inflicted on us, and they can't get around that shit. They can't get around anything that they do that causes psychological trauma. All this shit is trauma-based harassment, psychological, subconscious, creating fucking monsters in the back of your subconscious. Sleeping monsters. And we don't recognize it, and we don't, some of us may recognize it, but I'm one of the ones that, I don't know what the fuck is going on in my subconscious right now. I don't know who they've created in my subconscious or none of that shit. Like, I know whatever it is that they've created in my subconscious, it's not gonna come out until they bring it out. Like, I'm not, whatever they're creating back there, that's not me. It's not a natural, it's like forgetting about something, like having no memory of it, and then all of a sudden they wake it up, and that's what they're doing. Like, they're creating a monster in our subconscious, man, with all the anger, the anxiety, the hostility, all these fucking different emotions being wrapped up into one, on top of your survival instinct. This program is bad soup. I'll tell you that much. And people are just gonna die, man. More and more people are gonna die as long as they continue to fucking call us crazy. As long as the general public continues not to fucking pay attention, continues to keep a blind eye at the situation, feels like, hey, well, it's not happening to me, so maybe I should just, and you're just prolonging your fucking, you're prolonging your turn. That's all you're doing. And because the way they're doing it, at the pace they're doing it, and as blatant as they're doing it, and as many fucking video games and shit that they got coming out that has to do with this fucking bullshit, as far as the fucking virtual reality and, all that shit. This is gonna become a footprint in society. Like, this is gonna become the norm. Next thing you know, they'll be having apps that fucking, can hack into your fucking body. Once you get that chip and all that fucking shit. And just by living in San Jose, I don't, excuse me, with the technology they come out with out here, I don't want no synthetic shit in my body. I don't give a fuck if it's a synthetic fucking kneecap or fucking, people have to get bars and shit in their arm, mechanical bars and all this. I don't want shit, man, because, once pretty soon they're gonna have apps for everything, man. And anything that's like, even our fucking brains, man. Believe it or not, they download and fucking upload and fucking update, throw viruses, all types of shit in our brains and shit. It might seem like, your brain is just meat. It's just meat and veins, man. But, like, your brain is the fucking first computer on the planet. Your brain is the first computer on the planet. Even in grade school, they tell you that. Like, in grade school, they tell you got files in the back of your head that fucking store memories and shit. Like, I remember teachers and shit teaching us that. And they're loading our brain up with files, ladies and gentlemen. Make no mistake about that. Updating. They're doing all that shit to the brain. If you just think about the Mandela effect, when that Mandela effect came out, whether it's some real shit or some shit that the government just threw out there as a test, if you think about how shook that shit left, like, fucking the planet, like, literally, like, it split, it literally divided the people. You had one set of people saying this, you had one set of people saying this, and calling each other crazy, and fucking just that type of small shit like that. The big chaos that shit started. It's crazy. Yeah, so for those that don't know what targeting is, just, expect more deaths, man. Expect more murders. Pay attention to the mass shootings. Listen to what the police have to say as their fucking announcements and shit. Usually it'll be the guy was a monster or the lady was a monster. Mental illness. Anything you hear with mental illness, anything the police tell you, anybody that does something, they say that person had a mental illness, take a better look at that story. Take a better look at that story. Pay attention to the person as well. Pay attention to the person as well. it's 20 people on here, so I know SJPD is somewhere on here. You know, it's at least 3 of you guys, man. You guys gotta stop killing people, man. People are dying out here because of you guys. I know you guys might think it's funny and shit. Another day on the job. It's not happening to you. We're just scumbags anyways or whatever, but you know, this shit is gonna happen to you guys too. I'm pretty sure you already know it does. I'm pretty sure. You know, there's been some mysterious, in my eyes, mysterious police killings and shit. You know, when I first fucking you know, when I first fucking came to San Jose and shit, or not first came to San Jose, but when I first came into Target and shit, the first thing I noticed is right by the recycle place where I go, a cop, a bike police officer was hit by a minivan, and for some reason that just told me that shit was an inside job, man. That's probably like a police officer that was against this fucking program and shit, and gonna say something or something, and they fucking killed him. Cause the way that shit happened, the minivan, it was, you know, and they drive the same fucking, it's like the fucking new evolved. It's like the new evolved soccer mom type of van. The new evolved soccer mom type of van. But, even as much as I don't like fucking police and shit, like, just something told me, man, like, that's fucked up, man. They're out here killing their fucking own. Something told me that was like literally a fucking police job. Like, I can't prove that. I can't say it's for a fact or something, but you know, just sometimes you have those realizations, like that shit wasn't, no normal fucking person did that. That was an inside job. Just the way it happened and all that shit, man. And then sometimes I be seeing police go there, like, every now and then, I guess, for their memorial and shit, and it's just like, man, you motherfuckers know what happened. Just like VTA, man. VTA, the motherfuckers go to work every fucking day. And they know exactly what happened to their fucking comrade, their, no telling, that dude was probably on that job for years, so it's a lot of relationships that man built. Probably fucking, football games every year, Super Bowls and shit, throw a barbecue, have a few of the fucking buddies from fucking work come over and all that shit. Like, you build, like, when you got that type of fucking career, I guess you would call it career. You know, when you work in places like that and you become not so, I guess you could call it a family. Like, when you've been on it so many years, and it's, you get your buddies and shit, like, and for those people that just walk and work, like, I know, I know they gotta be fucking, I know that shit just, some people, that's why I know, like, everybody in the VTA, I don't think everybody in the VTA is bad people. But just not, just letting that shit being swept under the rug, like, just literally just knowing that, your partner is gonna be dead, and now his whole legacy is fucked up because the police, they want to implement a program, and when it backfires, they just want to sweep it under the rug. Like, they don't want to take the blame. Like, they don't want to take accept their fucking bullshit. They rather sweep it under the rug, and you're thinking to yourself, like, damn well this man didn't have no fucking mental illness, yet they fucking, to cover their asses, they say he had a mental illness, and now, your partner's gone, and his legacy is all fucked up. Like, you gotta be a complete fucking coward not to fucking, and I shouldn't say that, man, because, that's probably all that people have is that job. And you know, if they lose that job, then it's fucking over with. Or maybe one day when one of them retires or something, like maybe they're waiting on the day they retire or something to just fucking, you know, you'll hear one of those stories on like 48 hours or somebody coming with the truth and shit. But see that white Tesla that keeps coming by, probably shooting fucking frequencies. Ugh. Let me see, I'm getting to it. There's a lot of sick fucks out there, definitely. These clowns have none, none at all, bro. I'm sick of this shit. Yeah, me too, man. They hide and do it where we can't retaliate. I wish they do this to my. Yeah, you know, and that's another thing we gotta realize, man. Just like the 14-year-old, just like these fucking junkies and shit, and all the fucking, you know, these are the people, in a way, I'm not gonna go as far as to say you can't blame them. I'm gonna say half the blame is on them, but half the blame ain't even really on them, because a lot of them are being blackmailed, bullied, fucking, or they're fucking never had anything, and now they're fucking getting all these fucking luxuries, if you will. I mean, what they would consider luxuries if they've never had it before, I guess. You know, you get to fucking go to Target and get you a couple pairs of pants and a couple shirts and, you know, a new pair of shoes, and you know, you got you some soda pops now and a fucking cheeseburger, and you know, you're living a fucking life. And if you never had that shit before, and you know, it comes far in between. You know, maybe on Christmas and shit, like when they're passing out fucking, you know, shit. But you know, on a normal basis and shit, motherfuckers is, you know, a lot of these people, man, I don't know. It's like I don't want to talk down on nobody, because they're all homeless people. Like, you know, a lot of people have like homeless people, like, thinking that they're just all fucking nasty and fucking, like, there are literally fucking homeless people out there that you wouldn't even be able to tell that are homeless. But there are the ones that, you know, fucking, I don't even want to, you know, like, not, you know, there's people, the shitters and the pissers on themselves, the drug addicts and all that shit. Like, you know, you can't really blame them, because they're working for addictions, blackmail, fucking, you know, clean clothes, a place to live. Like, this is their fucking. Notice where his hand is, ladies and gentlemen. Same place the other guy's hand was yesterday. That was at the garbage can. Goofballs, I swear, goofballs. Chill pill, chill pill. Hey, chill. We good, scrap. Fucking goofies. Goofies. Uh, That's how you know the police sent them. Whenever they got their hands right there, you know, the police sent them either around their scrotum or hanging from their fucking top, around their fucking scrotum and shit. Um, and this is this is to get you. See, this is the thing, man. This is to get you to be aggressive and get out and do something to them. Like, I love it when they're blatant like that. I'm starting to fucking love it when they're blatant. Like, as far as, like, even with my receipts and my fucking... I'm starting to compartmentalize all their fucking shit. I'm starting to fucking... stack up all the fucking bullshit and fucking... From one headlights to fucking people doing weird shit like that. Meet me at fucking recycle spots and fucking pretending to be crazy. Like, when you have a different face at the same fucking recycle spot that you go to, it's orchestrated. Like, there's shit that they're doing that's orchestrated that they can't get around. Like, and they'll try, but you can tell, like, the shit that they do. When we slow down and we break shit down, like, because it's all low, like, even with the triggers and shit. But, like, when we slow down and break that shit down, like, the shit that they do, like, they can't get around. Like, it's just like we just gotta focus in. We gotta focus on what they're doing and fucking get that shit. Like, we gotta make our own fucking paper trails. Like, if we can make our own, get undeniable evidence. Like, don't pay attention to the fucking small shit, the coughing, the fucking sneezing and all that shit, even though it does get on your nerves and it is fucking sensitization or whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's just shit that the ordinary fucking regular public, like, they're just not gonna fucking get it because I guess if they're doing it, some perps do it to where they fucking do their hands through their hair real fucking slow on some fucking Tom Cruise type shit. Like, they just hopped out a jet or off a motorcycle and shit, and they're just looking real cool, putting their fingers through their hair and shit. I guess you could get them and shit, but, those are just all smoke and mirrors, man. Those are all the fucking bullshit. That's all the bullshit to blend in with the heavy fucking psychological bullshit that they throw in. And if you can put blinders on that shit and just focus on the fucking shit that they're doing like, it might not seem like it at first. Because I remember, me, when I was filming the people meeting me at the recycle spots all the time, or the garbage that left out and shit. Like, it looked like to me that, like, yeah, people ain't gonna fucking pay attention to that. But once you get, like, strategic, and you see how the garbage is set. Like, the garbage isn't even, like, nobody fucking did that. Like, it's strategically, like, the shit they do, like, the shit they fucking throw bags out the dumpster and shit, but the bags don't even be opened and shit. Like, if somebody was recycling in there, the bags would be fucking busted open and all this shit, but they got the bags all strategically set next to the dumpsters and, piles of fucking paper here and, maybe it's just fucking, even with their fucking trying to pretend like they're homeless and shit, like, they're just, they try so hard, like, to fucking, they try so hard that they're fucking dead giveaways, man. And if you can film that shit, like, if you, like with the garbage and shit, like, at the beginning somebody might be like, oh man, somebody just but when you fucking just sit back, you slow down and you think about it, like, man. And I recycle, so I'm thinking, like, damn, man, if these people like, what the fuck are they looking for if the bags if the bags are still open? And then sometimes they'll fucking have cans and shit all around the fucking dumpster and shit. Like when they don't even think like, okay, he might see the can. Like when I see the cans, I'm automatically like, okay, this dude is either he's not doing a, he's not like, maybe this is just a tweaker, but it can't be a recycler if you know there's cans all on the ground around the fucking, you know. They're not the very smart. I'm saying all that to say they're not as smart as they portray themselves to be. And I know a lot of us think that they're fucking, because even me, like at the beginning of my targeting, like I thought these people were fucking just untouchable. Like I thought they were fucking almost invincible and shit. Like I remember like in the beginning getting so mad at him. Like I used to fucking like literally fucking introduce him to fights or offer like literally like, you know, welcome them to outside the fucking store to fight him and shit. And they fucking smile at me and shit. And these are, you know, these aren't fucking no fucking gangsters, thugs, or none of this shit. These are just fucking weirdos fucking harassing me and shit. Some of them, you know, but I'm not, these aren't no fucking like, this ain't no, you know, this ain't no fucking, no gangs, like these are fucking just regular fucking citizens. But I'm not saying because they're not gangsters or thugs they can't do nothing. But I'm just saying like these are, you know, these are regular fucking citizens, and some of them are citizens that, you know, if you walk by their car, they're gonna fucking lock the door immediately because they think you're gonna do something to them. These are the type of fucking people that would fucking you know, do some fucking way out shit. Like I'll be walking in the store and somebody call me a bitch or some shit, and then you know, after they do it so many times, you catch on to it, cause you know, at first, like when they used to do it, they call me a bitch or just call me on my name, and I confront them, and I'd be like, what the fuck? And then they'd be like, what are you talking about? And, you know, I probably had went off on them, called them all types of names. I'm welcoming them to fight and all types of shit. And then, you know, they'd be like, man, I don't even know what you're talking about, dude. And then fucking I feel bad about fucking, like, you know, immediately afterwards, I would just fucking feel bad about fucking approaching them like that. And fucking coming at them like that and shit. And it's like, man, they do it so much over and fucking over and fucking over and fucking over again until you just realize, like, you know, it's just what they do. It's a part of their program. This is what they're doing, man. But man, they put themselves in harm's way so much, man. Hey, you guys, my battery's about to die, but you know, I don't really have too much to do tonight. I do gotta recycle a little bit, but the top of my van is loaded, so I'm gonna go ahead and start this back up in a little bit, you guys, and give my phone some time to charge up.